everyone. I hope you are doing great there. So even though we are far apart, I am having this video so that we can learn together. So our lesson for today is all about fraction. So can you still remember what is fraction? So these are what we called fractions. So fractions is a part of a whole. Let us try to look at the vocabularies. Number 1, fraction. Number 2, denominator. 3, numerator. 4, proper fraction. 5, improper fraction. And last, we have mixed fraction. So as what we've said, fraction is a part of a whole. So let's try to look at this bar. We have here one bar. This one bar consists of 5 boxes. So these 5 boxes represents a whole one bar. So these 5 boxes is our denominator. Then I will ask you, how many parts are being shaded? Or how many boxes are being shaded? There are 3 boxes, right? So these 3 boxes represents the part of this one bar which is being shaded. So these 3 boxes would be our numerator. We cannot just say fraction. It's a fraction. There is no type of fraction. So let's try to look at the 3 types of fraction. We have here proper fraction. Next, we have improper fraction. And last, mixed fraction. Let's try to understand what is a proper fraction. So proper fraction, our numerator should be lower than our denominator, has a lower number than our denominator. So let's try to look at this example. Imagine that this is a pineapple pie. So how many slices are there to make it as a whole? So there are 8 slices. Very good. How many slices are being eaten? There are 3 parts or 3 slices being eaten. So our fraction there is 3/8 because 3 represents the parts being eaten and then 8 represents the slices of this pineapple pie to make it as a whole. So since we have the fraction 3/8, is this a proper fraction? Yes. Why? Because our numerator has a lower value than our denominator. How about this example? You can see here 3 pies. In these 3 pies, you can see that the 2 boxes are not being touched. But how many slices are there in one pie? There are 3 slices. 3 represents our denominator. Then, how many slices are being shaded in these 3 pies? It is 7. So our numerator would be 7. So our fraction there would be 7/3. So is this a proper fraction or improper fraction? So this is now what we called improper fraction. Why improper fraction? Because our numerator has a higher value than our denominator. Next, we have our second example. So we have here 2 pies. So on one whole pie, how many slices are there? There are 4. So 4 represents our denominator. Then, how many slices are being shaded in these 2 pies? So there are 7. So our fraction there is 7/4. So since our numerator has the higher value, so what type of fraction could it be? So it is improper fraction. Very good. So we're going to use this last example since it is improper fraction, because we can make this as mixed fraction to simplify our answer. Since we have 7/4, so how are we going to make it as mixed fraction? We can just divide 7 divided by 4. So we have 1. Then 7 minus 4. So it is 3. So 1 represents the whole part. And then the remainder, which is 3, represents the part that is still being shaded, or the part that we cannot accumulate to become a whole. Then we can just carry our denominator, which is 4. So our mixed fraction is 1 and 3/4. Let's take a look at this example. So we have here 4 pies. 3 pies are still whole. And then the other pie, 3 parts are being shaded. So there is 1 pie being eaten already. So how many parts are being shaded? So there are 15. And then how many slices are there in 1 whole? So there are 4. So 4 represents our denominator. So since this is still an improper fraction, so how are we going to make it as mixed fraction? It's still the same process. We can just divide 15 divided by 4. So we have 3. And then get our remainder, which is 3. And then get our denominator, or just carry our denominator, which is 4. So our answer there would be 3 and 3/4. So let's try to find the fraction of this figure and what type of fraction is it. Can you guess? Very good. The fraction is 1/4. So what type is it? It is proper fraction. Very good. How about this one? So it is what fraction? So it is 9/4. Very good. What type of fraction is it? It is improper fraction. Very good, because our numerator has a higher value than our denominator. So I hope you get our lesson for today, and for your worksheet, you can just click the link